Hey guys, Michael200 here, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to show you how to get started with VRChat. Everything you need to know, things about the community, etc. Alright, so first things first, to play VRChat, you either need to get it on Steam. It's free on Steam in the Steam store, so VRChat. It's right here. Like I said, it's free. You can also get it in the Oculus app, which actually you don't need a VR headset to use, believe it or not. It is also free in the Oculus app. This is what I personally use for my VR because I use a Rift S, and unfortunately, my Rift S doesn't technically like Steam VR that much. I could just use desktop mode, but where's the fun in that? But for the purpose and sake of this video, we will be using desktop mode. We'll just wait for it to load here. So whenever you first open VRChat, you'll be greeted with a login screen. You can choose to either log in with your Steam account, your Oculus account, or make a fresh VRChat account. I recommend personally creating a VRChat account because that way you are able to grow your account and have access to more features. Those features include the ability to increase your trust rank all the way to a trusted user. With doing that, you're able to have all your avatar features shown. It's really, honestly, it's hard to explain, but essentially, the way to gain trust in VRChat is to hop around on the different instances, make friends, upload content such as avatars or worlds. Speaking of worlds, here's one of mine. It's nothing big, really. It's just what I've been working on. But essentially, this gains me trust. Like, there's a world audio you can use to turn off the audio. There's the HQ mirror, the low quality mirror. Everything you need in a world is here. There's a bar with drinks you can pick up. But usually new VRChat users will most likely spawn in the VRChat tutorial. Which looks like this. In the VRChat tutorial, you get to learn the quintessential well, honestly, the quintessential benefits of VRChat. Well, not benefits, the quintessential usage and how to play it. So it shows you how to move. It gives you a base avatar you can use. Um, Tells you how to friend people. And then it pulls up some worlds you can go into. And after your first time logging in, the world you'll be going to more often than not is the VRChat home, which will look like this once it loads. So yeah, this is what the VRChat home looks like. It's pretty standard for VRChat, honestly. There's a mirror with an avatar avatar buttons, which you can just use to change your avatar whenever you want. There's two buttons, one up here and one down here. They both do the same thing. Then there is portals in the back, portals over here as well. So these are the avatar dynamics worlds, which shows the interactions and availability of each avatar. There's the cross-platform avatars and the avatar dynamics world. Cross-platform avatars just shows the avatars that are available for cross-platform play, which cross-platform meaning they are available in VRChat for the computer, VRChat for Quest, VRChat for iOS, VRChat for Android. Then back here, there's music visualizers. These actually change daily, and you can also you used to actually be able to change what was shown in the back portals with a pop-up. Well, not really pop-up. It was usually just pedestal right here. Guess they changed that. But there's music visualizers where people can showcase their audio link avatars. There's just explorable worlds. There's No Time to Talk, which is kind of like a little game show. There's also just games in general. Then there's hangout spots and yeah. Then there's icebreaker games, which are basically games where you go to meet people, have fun. It's essentially the same thing as regular VRChat games, honestly. Then there's also the Launchpad menu, where you can go to find your avatars, your uploaded avatars, the avatars you've saved, etc. Then there's fallback avatars. Ooh. There's some new fallbacks. Wow. Not expecting that. Huh. Then there's the public avatars, which has all the avatars that you will have access to, usually. There's also something called avatar worlds, where if you go to in your launch pad, you go here and it shows all the worlds you can go to. If you scroll down, you'll find what's labeled as avatar worlds. All of these worlds here, except for Furry Hideout and 7-Eleven, have avatars in them. And maybe even Avatar Testing Chamber. I'm not sure why that's there. That's to test your avatars. But yeah, almost all of these are avatar worlds. You'll see stuff like Has Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, Sonic, One Piece, just a wide variety of different avatars. There's even Undertale. Um, but yeah, essentially all avatars are here that you can publicly get. There are avatars that people have that are not available anywhere else, such as avatars that they've created themselves or they've paid for other people to make for them, which are labeled as private avatars. And those avatars will that if you've paid for someone to make an avatar or have made them yourself in Blender and transferring it to Unity, those will show up here in your uploaded avatars content. Me, I've only uploaded a total of 16 avatars. My first avatar is this little guy right here. Was a little project I did, just retexture and such. It was really like nothing. The base model itself was free, so I was able to like edit it however I wanted to. And then the avatar that I currently use is right here, which I am currently in, as you can see here. And there you can do like stuff like this on your avatars. If you're on desktop, you press the R key, you can bring up a little radial menu where you can use your expressions. There's also stuff called Gogo Loco, which allows you to. It's essentially like Play Space Mover, to be fair. Then there's accessories. Which honestly, it depends on the avatar you have. There's toggles for accessories, stuff like that. I can toggle on and off the skirt. I can put on shoes, thigh highs. Put on arm sleeves. You name it. Okay. I forgot to take off the jacket there. But yeah. And then there's also means of doing stuff with what's called OSC. OSC is a type of tracking that can be used for assets that have dynamic things to them. Like for example, this keyboard. This uses an OSC tracker to 98 OSC trackers to track my IRL MIDI keyboard. So whenever I press a key on the keyboard, it presses a key in the game on this model. But those usually require external scripts to run, etc. It's not really recommended. But yeah. Then there's the social side of VRChat, where you get to meet friends, hang out, and many other things. The best place to find people whenever you first join VRChat would be the worlds in trending. That's where you'll find the most traffic of people. Just a warning though, people don't usually interact with people in the visitor rank. You can rank up beyond visitor rank using a Steam account or a Oculus account. However, you won't be able to get to known or trusted user. I don't think. Don't quote me on that. But people will generally start interacting with you once you reach the user or new user rank. We don't necessarily hang out with visitors because usually visitor users are toxic. They search for just any sort of attention, be it good attention or bad attention. And generically, they are usually users that tend to cause chaos for the VRChat mod team. Which is why we typically tend to avoid visitors in general. But the good news is your VRChat account will rank up to new user with 12 hours of active use. So usually you will need to just play the game for 12 hours or so, be it 12 hours at once, or you can even do it segmented. As long as you've played the game for 12 hours actively, you will rank up to new user. You can't just log into VRChat and sit there doing nothing, because the game has an anti-AFK check system where it checks to see if you are not moving at all. You won't be able to rank up by just standing still, doing nothing, and doing other things IRL. You actually have to be active, communicating in the game, moving around. So, yeah, basically everything you need to know about VRChat. There are also people that you should tend to avoid at all costs. And they are people who are in obnoxious avatars. And another word of advice. As soon as you get into VRChat, the first thing you should do is set your custom safety settings and set everything to this except for your friends. You can only allow your friends have everything. And if you don't want to set up a custom safety setting, just click maximum. It's for the best. You'll thank me later. Trust me. And then there's groups where you can join groups to meet other people in the community. There's groups for live music events. There's groups for disabilities, and groups for other games. And then there's just random groups like Skittles, for example. There's also groups for your pronouns. There's groups for, there's just a random boss bar. There's also groups for voice actors and aspiring voice actors. There's also a group literally dedicated to calcium and the consumption of calcium, which is called the Cult of Calcium. Which honestly just baffles me. There's groups for Hell of a Boss, whether or not you're single or taken. There's groups for YouTube, Discord, Steam, the LGBTQ. A group to signify if you're 18 or older. A group if you have autism. There's just a wide variety of places you can be and There's also groups for world creators and avatar creators. Then there is your profile tab where you can link your social medias. You can see what trust rank you have. You have your status menu where you can change it so join me, so anyone can join you no matter what. If you're in an invite plus, it will automatically accept their request to join. So usually, to avoid this, I stay in Ask Me, which Orange, or otherwise known as Orange, it's essentially the safest way to go through VRChat because you don't have to worry about random people joining you. If it's a public world, then yes, random people will join. But this is an added security, so if a random person friends you, you accept it. They can't just join you on their own accord. They actually have to prompt an invite from you to be able to join you, no matter what world you're in. But if you really don't want to be bothered with invites or invite requests, then you can go on Do Not Disturb or Red, and you won't have to deal with any of that. But most of the time, everyone in VRChat just uses Orange, unless of course they're just starting out in VRChat. You can also set what languages you know, and is also where you can view what group you have active as your represented groups. You can also see your avatars you've uploaded and your worlds that you have uploaded, and then your favorited worlds as well. You can also set your bio, which I highly recommend doing, as it is very useful for knowing who a person is, what they like doing. It's essentially just introductions for people. I personally tend to put my important information such as my Discord tags, my relationship status, how I'm feeling mentally, my gender, sexuality. I even put my YouTube and my age. This needs to be changed from this. There we go. There we go. Submit. There we go. And then there's your badges. For people who were playing VRChat or subscribed to VRChat Plus, before the date of March 3rd, 2023, you would have been given this badge here called the Early Adopter Badge. It's for people who supported the community early on in its development while it was in open beta. Now, if you won't get this badge at all, if you get VRChat Plus or get the game, then there's another badge that will show up here, which is the VRChat Plus badge, which is a yellow badge that will be this. So VRChat Plus is basically your premium version of VRChat. It allows you to save or favorite more avatars. It also increases your trust rank by 1 level. And it will stay that level even once your VRChat Plus subscription ends. VRChat Plus is roughly $16 Canadian or $13 American. It also allows you to have custom background menus, photo invites. You can change your profile image. Here it shows how many avatars you can favorite, and then you also get a nameplate icon instead of the first three initials of your username. Also, in your profile, you can see what world you're in. You can click that to then rejoin that world if you're having connection issues or anything like that. Also, as your trust rank increases, mainly once you get to known user, you can click the trust rank icon here, and you can appear just as a normal user. This way you can go around VRChat as a normal person, really. I tend to leave it as trusted user because I don't like to hide my trust rank, as I find that it's just not really important to do. You can also go to your side menus here, which is the wing icons up here, which are pop-out menus. Here you can also see your trust user, how many friends you have online, what world you're in, what avatar you're currently using, your status, and your profile picture, plus your badges, doesn't matter which. Okay, then there's your settings menu, where you can change your audio settings, your comfort settings. I recommend turning off personal space, as you can see people's avatars whenever they are in a... Okay, so usually essentially avatars that are about this close to you with personal space on will not be seen. They'll be just a diamond. With personal space settings off, you can see their avatars no matter what. There's also streamer mode if you tend to be live streaming a lot, which hides sensitive information, but there is any sensitive information that's shown, honestly. There's untrusted URLs, which if you're in a world like a movie world, is highly recommended that you turn this on so you can watch movies and such in the world. And then community labs is just the worlds that are new to VRChat and haven't had a lot of people in. Then there's portal prompt, which prompts you if you want to enter a portal or not. Highly recommend to have this on so people don't portal snipe you. Your graphic settings are how you get the most performance out of your computer whenever playing VRChat. I recommend, if you have a low-end computer, to have your graphic settings on low and turn off anti-aliasing. That way you are putting less of a what's it called? Less stress on your system. I wouldn't worry about mirror resolution or shadow quality or LOD. Then particle limiter, I highly recommend to have this on because there are avatars that have very heavy particle systems. Then the FPS, I recommend setting that to unlimited. Pixel light count, I don't really feel matters. Force camera near distance, I say this is a per user basis. I don't know what it should be or what it shouldn't be. I will always just say it's a per user basis. Screen brightness, I highly recommend to keep it at 100%, and same with bloom intensity. Color filters, depends on the user. The avatar menu. So if you don't want people having the same avatar as you, if your avatar is public, I highly recommend keeping avatar cloning off. I also highly recommend having avatar gestures on. That way you can move your fingers around if you have a VR headset. And you can also do the same thing with the keybinds shift all the way to F10. Avatar interactions is just for people who can interact with your fizz bones on your avatar. Um, Blocking poorly optimized avatars, I highly recommend to put that to block poor and below. Actually, no, to very poor. Always block very poor. I also recommend to have your max avatar download size to minimum of 320 megabytes. And the converting dynamic bones to fizz bones, that's based on the user. I don't know whether or not it's recommended to be on or off. And again, for avatar, to show avatars, it's up to you guys. You can choose to hide avatars or choose not to hide avatars. You can prioritize to show avatars closer than 20 meters or so, or any so basically you can just prioritize every avatar in the world, but that's not really recommended, which is why I usually keep it at 20 and activate it as needed. Then there's the mirror. You can have a personal mirror. You can have it track the world, track you, have it in immersive mode. You can have the mirror snap to a specific location. You can have a calibration mirror for full body. It's basically just a user mirror that only you can see. Then user interface is basically just the UI, your menus here, your radial menu, nameplate visibilities. Your controls is where you can set your keybinds, your gestures, your HUD. Chat box is... Oh, most new VRChat users don't realize that there's a chat box system in the game. You can use this by pressing Y on your keyboard, or if you want to take the long route, you can go Options, then Chat box and Keyboard. But otherwise, Y works just the same. What else did I forget to mention? Then tracking in IK. Tracking just is what the it's what the avatar does. Like, for example, if I were to disable my glasses, disable my glasses, you can see that my avatar has eyes, which track the movement pretty well, if I do say so myself. But you can change the eye tracking. So you can have... So if you have a webcam or something that you want to use to track your eye movements from real life to your game, you can do that. However, it requires a external script. But there's also VR equipment used for eye tracking and face tracking. You will usually find that with the Vive or Index headsets. I don't know if they're supported with Oculus. I do know they're supported on HTC Vive and Valve Index headsets. There's the accessibility settings, which is for locomotion, your menu, screen brightness, chat box visibility, chat box size, and etc. And then your debug menu, which shows what your FPS is. You can also show an avatar overlay, which, hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So basically, avatar overlay shows what is on your avatar. It can be contacts, bones, proximity, essentially all that. And then there's your cache, which I highly recommend you clear after 20 gigabytes or so, because that will free up a lot of space on your computer. It also improves performance substantially. because most of the cache is stored in your RAM, which if you don't have a good PC, you'll probably only have maybe 4 to 8 gigabytes of it. Which is why I highly recommend you clear your content cache and local avatar data. Yes, it's a hassle because you'll have to reload the worlds, reload the avatars. They're still going to be saved in your account. It's just that you'll have to re-download the avatars and re-download the worlds. But essentially just makes your life way better. That's about it for the settings. Oh, and you can also search for specific things. It's basically a keyword search. There's like it's essentially just for worlds. Then there's the help and info, where you can go to basically figure things out. It's basically it's VRChat's way of a tutorial system, which I highly recommend looking at whenever you get the chance. There's a lot of useful information here. But that's pretty much it. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh, and there's also your notifications, which you can use to get invite notifications, group notifications. Invite requests, replies, other notifications. You can edit your notification messages that you can send to people. But yeah. But that's essentially it, guys. There's really nothing else I need to address about VRChat. Yeah. I hope you found this tutorial useful. I'll see you guys next time.